Hey guys, what's going on? Andy Patnou here. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Just got done teaching a full day here at TPC Scottsdale on Saturday. Geez, what today is? April. What day is it, Gabe? April something? I don't know. It's somewhere in April.
Yeah.
And it was a busy day. We started off, I taught 3 to 4 private lessons. Me and Gabe kind of talked about some things today, kind of for an hour or so. And then I did a Wounded Warrior clinic to kind of, obviously do help out the Wounded Warriors and doing that. So as you guys kind of saw, I have basically 3 things I always do with the client. Obviously, I sit there and see what's going on, ask them what they've been doing with their game and what they've been kind of focusing on. And then when I'm watching them hit a golf ball, I always have kind of things laid out there. I always have my flight scope on the ground, so it's tracking shots, so I get the idea of their dispersion rate, how far it's going, whether it's consistent distance or inconsistent distance. I can also start seeing, the trajectory part of it. Is it inconsistent trajectory or is it good trajectory? Because I always look for 3 things in a golf swing, in terms of why we actually change or work on golf swings. It's all part of, can you control your trajectory? Can you control your distance? And obviously, can you control the direction, right? And, we work on your 3 things to improve those 3 things. Would it just be one part of it or all 3 of them? That's how we kind of boils it down. So I use my flight scope to make sure I can kind of really see it, so I have not really guessing at it. And then I also use my Casio that I use, so I sit there and film them. And I think a video is a big format for me as personally as an instructor, because it helps me slow it down and kind of take a little bit better look at it from a slower part. But it also shows the student what they're doing, what our intent is to do, and then obviously, so they can sit there and see how much they're exaggerating something, and obviously kind of from a standpoint of what they're really working on. Because too many times I think if you don't use video, I can sit there and say, okay, I want you to be right here, but it feels like you're over here. Right? But so that person, if they didn't see that on a video, they say like, oh man, Andy had me swinging around my right hip and it felt horrible. So that person's not going to come back, and they're also going to view instruction kind of bad. Where if I said that, even though you feel like you're swinging over here, but it looks there, they know that they're not physically doing that. It's just making it go right there. So that's why I like using video, and then obviously I like showing them what the best players in the world do. Not sitting there and saying they have to sit there and, be like them, but it's always nice sitting there and say, listen, this is what all those great players do, right? They all dress and wear white belts. No, not all of them do. But, when they sit there and they can see themselves, paired up with the Tour Pro, and it's like, man, I'm making almost kind of similar impact to that guy. It kind of boosts their confidence, right? And that's all we want to do. We're not sitting there saying, hey, that flip looks great. Keep your head down longer. You know what? Hang on that back foot, because that just is what you do, and keep doing that. This doesn't really work. All right, so it's kind of fun. Like the first lesson I had was with Jerry, and Jerry's kind of a buddy of mine that we've been working together for a while. And he's kind of like a swing nut like myself and like Gabe, where, I don't know, and we kind of get along. We kind of like talking golf swing, but he's always saying, like, he comes in for a golf lesson, he's got like 12 things in his head, and we sit there and we boil it down to like 2 things. And he's always laughing at me about it, because he always thinks that we're going to sit here and work on crazy different things, and, oh man, he's going to sit there and work on 12 things, but I keep it simple. All right, today was just kind of working on left wrist stuff and a little bit of setup and some posture. Pretty funny. And then the next guy was a guy named Jordan, relatively new client, in like his 2nd or 3rd lesson. He wants to play golf and wants to learn golf because all of his buddies play golf. Played lacrosse growing up, kind of has some things going on in his golf swing, so he's more in kind of like where he's learning what the golf fundamentals are in terms of, golf swing, pitching, putting, all that stuff, and basically teaching his body how to move in the correct way, where, he's going to get better pretty fast because he's an athlete, but, he's like in the infant stage of learning. And then we have my 3rd client, who's kind of in the same boat, but he's played golf before. He's played golf for like 15 years, but he's never taken a golf lesson. And he's really, I would say like right side brain, like type A personality, where he has to constantly think about 20 things, and it gets in his own way a bunch. So we sat there today and really kind of worked on limiting his thoughts so he can actually achieve 1 or 2, and kind of getting him out of his own way. So it's kind of really, for me, sitting there and kind of pushing him, kind of really egging him on not to overthink and not to do kind of crazy things, which was kind of fun. That was kind of good. And then we had some lunch, and then obviously the Wounded Warrior clinic was really fun, because in a clinic scenario, I can't sit there and spend 50 minutes with someone one-on-one. It's giving them the basic idea of what to kind of do. Like most of those guys are coming over top and slicing it, so what we kind of told them that the idea of where they want the driver, where the swing path and all that, and then get the awareness of what they should kind of feel with the club face, and they were happy, because they're just in a clinic scenario like that, it's more about having fun, being in a relaxed atmosphere, and no more kind of shooting, just kind of talking like that, and just basically hanging out and then showing them kind of what to do. I always want to know more than I did the day before, and I always want to make sure I'm always asking myself questions, why did I do that with someone? And I always, like, for me personally, I always want to make sure what I'm doing is actually correct. And I have no ego to say, what I was doing a year ago was wrong, because I get excited for that, where you know, I'm always learning. I'm never kind of in one moment. Like I guarantee you last year I was teaching something maybe just a touch different. Maybe I said it differently, but this year now because I understand more and understand maybe 5 different avenues how to get to that, it kind of makes me better as an instructor. And I think that what kind of makes me successful so far right now as a young instructor, only being 27 and kind of being able to what I want to do is that I don't sit there and kind of pigeonhole anyone into one kind of belief system. Like I can sit there and take someone that was working on with someone like that and kind of take the good things from there and kind of restructure kind of how I feel. But I think the things that reason I can grow and kind of get to where I'm at now is that I'm not pigeonholing myself into one little avenue of teaching in terms of, let's say I'm a one playing guy or two playing guy or a stack and tilt guy. I kind of like being known as a guy that teaches everything, right? You're not going to come in and kind of get cookie cuttered. And obviously learning every single day from, even guys like Gabe, I learn a bunch from him, even he knows it or not, or even going to see different instructors, reading different books. I mean, I think I have 60 total golf books, and I've read every single one of them from front to back, and I read them almost every single day, right? And that's kind of how I always stay fresh, is that I sit there and maybe read a different chapter. Like, if I did a chipping lesson today, I'm going to go reread that chipping book just so I have it in my brain, kind of some fundamentals I want to go over, and basically go that way. But always constant learning and always self-improving, and never just kind of be stagnant and doing one thing. That's pretty much it. Well, best piece of advice, one, you can't do it by yourself. I've tried it, and I'm pretty sure every player at one point has tried only doing it by themselves, but unfortunately it just doesn't work. You need someone to sit there and bounce ideas off of. You need someone to sit there and lay out a practice, you need someone to sit there and be, someone lay out actually like a solid practice plan for you to kind of get better, and have someone that actually has a little bit of accountability for your actions. So, the reason why I don't really work on my game as much as I did, but when I did, I obviously have a circle of instructors. Like Aaron Olson's a good buddy of mine that I bounce a lot of my golf swing ideas off of and my personal feels. And if I sit there, if I want a golf lesson, I'm going to go see Aaron, because I know he's going to sit there and look at my golf swing. And even though I know what I'm looking for, but he can put it down in a way to make it more simple, and obviously for me to go sit there and practice it in a different way. But biggest word of advice, you can't do it yourself. Find something to latch onto, and some program, some teacher, go find them, whatever works for you, but you can't do it by yourself. All right, guys, thanks for kind of watching here, and if you kind of liked it, let me know. I'm going to be doing a lot more videos like this, so make sure you like my Facebook page, Andy Patnou Golf. Go like my YouTube page if you're already kind of watching this, obviously. Like it, comment on it for me, and, and let me know what you guys want to see. Like, I'm always up to ears in terms of, if you guys want to see some chipping videos, if you guys want me to go see one of the players that I work with, if you guys just want me to not talk and just kind of show you what someone else is doing, that's kind of great. But basically just let me know. Like I said, I hope you guys like that, and thanks for watching, and Andy Patnou Golf signing off. I'm like, word.